Quorators, we're back for another week.
Yo, what's up? It's just us.
It's the boys again.
It's the boys.
Sometimes it's just the boys.
Sometimes it's just the boys.
Uh-oh, your parents aren't home. It's just the boys again.
Uh-oh.
What up, dogs? It's Alex and Jeremy. I'm Alex.
I'm Jeremy. This is Alex. It's Quora Podcast.
I feel like that's all you need to know.
It's really all you need to know. It's a low, what is it?
Effort?
Info. Yeah,
No,
sure.
not effort.
No, not effort. No.
We're trying very hard to read Quora.
We're curating the Quoras.
No one else knows how to do that, or even how to pronounce the name of the podcast.
No one knows what the name of the podcast is for some reason. People think it's Quorators. People think we're orators who read Quora.
Well, that's equally true, though.
It is true.
So
but
that's
it's not
fine
what
if
we
they
are. We are
think that.
curators who read Quora. We curate Quoras.
We can do it all, baby. All right, let's get into it. Last week we had a very interesting question. I do not remember what it was.
Every week we read a Quora that we wrote at the end of the episode. And it was last week we wrote, when frogs hatch their eggs from their backs, does that feel good for them?
Okay, I am genuinely interested in this.
Great.
You know what, though? I shouldn't have been surprised when people just put pictures up there.
And that's a frog coming out of that guy's back.
Yeah, the guy is also a frog, so it's okay.
Sorry, yeah, I should say that.
Can I put this on the channel? I feel like you can.
I don't know. It's not.
It's
not,
nature.
It's frog porn, right?
It's not nurture. Well, I guess if you're a fetishist in the frog community, it's porn.
We've gotten in a lot of trouble for talking about bestiality on this podcast, and I want to be clear, not from anyone in charge of us, just from our listeners, who are really in charge of us in a way.
I'm in hot water with my wife from my frog discussions.
People don't want us to talk about having sex with animals, but we're not.
Well, we're not.
We're talking about animals having sex with each other, which is so
We're not
different.
even talking about that right now. What is the frog question say?
My answer is predicated on the assumption that the frog that you mentioned is the common Suriname toad. Well, it sounds like that's not a frog. It's a fucking toad, you idiot.
Next answer.
Should we not read the rest of this?
I am
it's the only answer,
I am
think.
interested, though.
Indeed, the very thought of amphibian birthing processes gives me pause.
Yep, same.
While
Same.
frogs
That's why we're here.
selflessly carry their clutch, their simple nervous system likely feels little in the way of pain or pleasure from the experience.
Huh.
Still,
So you just your back becomes a sieve of babies, and you're just like, that's Tuesday. Another day being a frog. I can't wait to clock out and die.
oh, jeez. The poor frog.
We're going to talk a lot about being small animals this episode.
Okay.
And honestly, anything that doesn't have a nervous system, no longer interested. I'm not at that part of my journey anymore.
The challenges of parenting knows no species, but for frogs, nature has devised a system of developing young that requires minimal mobility, a sensible arrangement for creatures not renowned for their mobility on land. Whether frogs feel the first nibbles and nudges remains an open question, but I tip my hat to their commitment to nurturing the next generation.
How did we find this gentleman?
I tip my hat to you, dear toads.
A tip of the hat to
May
that
you
toad.
one day find pleasure in giving birth.
So is the answer that there's only one kind of toad who does that nasty?
I really don't know.
Nasty stuff I'm talking
truly
about.
couldn't tell you. I don't
That
think
was from Tommy C.
I can't imagine anyone's really finding pleasure from giving birth. I know that's like a thing.
Well, you feel incredible pain and then pleasure. It's like the what is the film with Pinhead?
Hellraiser.
It is similar to Hellraiser giving birth.
Giving birth. Two guys. What do you know?
The pleasure is in the pain.
Two
Welcome to the podcast.
childless men.
We read Quoras.
Tommy C is a blogger. He has a website called Buff Bow.
Yo, check out Buff Bow.
Should we click
Shout out
it?
to Buff. No, it's not on Quora. We
Oh,
can't click
fair
it.
enough.
We read Quora. It's the Quora podcast.
Should we read some Quoras?
Yes.
Because we don't have any answers.
That was a
to
great
one.
answer, though. Also, just a casual reminder, because we are banking this. If you do want to answer one of our questions, you must, in your comment, write the word scrambled eggs. And in that, we will know that you came from the show and you're not just a crazy
Just a
person.
guy on the internet.
Buff Bow.
That way we know. Honestly, it's so that we know to not be like, this fucking idiot.
Yeah, so we'll be nice to you.
So we read your question and we go, that's a great question.
Yeah, we put the real barbs away.
Sometimes we go, what? Look at this fucking dumb ass. And then I'm like, oh, never mind.
Oh,
It
never
says scrambled
mind.
eggs. It's from a beautiful listener.
That's a good guy.
He's handsome.
This is a strong guy.
All right. Well, anyway, this is the religion segment. Forbidden fruit.
All right, hold on. I'm going to get it right. It came up last episode, but the religion song is also the philosophy song.
But what is
we are
religion if
on
not a type of philosophy?
it is, though.
I
It
agree.
is.
It is.
There's nothing funny about that.
This question is, are vampires in the Bible?
Ah! Just think about it.
They're on boats now.
So this is my main takeaway from the vampire thing.
Okay.
I read the Bible in school or whatever, but
And by the Bible, of course, you mean the Twilight Saga.
that is not what I mean. If vampires are part of the Bible, I feel like more of the Bible should be like, here's another sin, being a vampire. Biting a human and drinking all their blood.
Sure, yeah. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So
Thou
if it-
shalt not live in a weird castle.
Thou shalt not hang from thine feet.
Thou shalt not turn into dogs.
Do not make pale look so good.
Yeah.
Bats are not it, chief. Stuff like that. So the only thing I would say is if vampires are in the Bible at all, and I don't think they are, but if they're in there even a little bit, it's got to just be like cameo by a vampire because they do not get enough discussion at church as you'd think that they should.
I'm Jewish, so we have no vampires.
You don't even know about vampires.
I don't even know what they fucking are.
They're terrible.
What if there's like some people in the Bible could be like low key vampires, like that snake that talks and makes Eve eat the apple.
Low key?
He's low key.
Judas is a vampire. Honestly, he's a cloud shark and he's a vampire.
What if there's like a line in the Bible where Jesus is just like, you're being a fucking vampire right now, dude.
You're stealing my energies.
Yeah.
Shots fired at Judas.
Shots fired at Judas. Dude, we're so anti-Judas.
Judas,
on
you
this
are
podcast.
not welcome on the pod.
Judas, you're on watch.
You will never read Quora
Actually,
with us.
I would have Judas on the pod.
I'll pay you 50 pieces of silver not to come on. I don't remember which one
Do
it
you think
is.
he would betray us?
How much is silver?
What do you mean?
Like, do you get a lot or a little of it?
I
the
think
Romans.
It's got to be a lot, right?
It's gotta be a lot.
Silver?
I mean, you've to betray the lamb? Anyway, let's find out.
Do you want to look up what the cost of silver is?
Oh,
or
no,
just
about
vampires?
our vampires in the Bible.
Okay, well, Cain A, who I guess is the first man,
Son of Cain.
biblical linguistics and pastor, says, yes, we do. But unlike some of the more dramatic responses listed, I will approach this a bit more practically.
Thank you.
Vampirism, the practice of consumption of blood, especially by various ancient cultures, was forbidden by the Torah of Moses.
So you should know even more about vampires.
But then they
You
say,
should be our resident vampire expert, actually.
vampire expert here.
That was a prequel DLC, is why I don't know about vampires.
That's so fucked up that you call the Jewish Bible prequel DLC.
Prequel DLC.
That's the extra shit that came out before.
Sometimes it's the best part. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I love watching Blade 1 prequel DLC to Blade 2.
I'm trying to think of an example that
I don't know why I went for vampires.
I'm trying to think of an example that does take place in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, and I cannot. So
What do
I
you
won't move
mean?
on. I know some good prequels to the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, I'm going to quote Leviticus here.
Thank you.
And you are not to eat any blood, either of bird or animal, in any of your dwellings. Any person who eats any blood, that person shall be cut off from his people.
All right, it's pretty explicit there.
I don't know.
But it's
any
not like,
blood?
and you turn into a swarm of bats.
Yeah, also
And
like,
you're fast and no karate for some reason.
I'm not drinking blood. That's not what I'm up to. But if
Right.
you eat like a juicy steak, does that make you a vampire according to Leviticus?
Well, it says not to, yeah. So like you can't have a rare steak. These liberals at Leviticus won't let you have a rare steak the way you were raised.
I do like the idea. Like Leviticus is famously the one that has all like the homophobic stuff, right?
Yeah, Leviticus is actually somewhat like over party. Hashtag Leviticus.
I just like that. Like people don't talk about Leviticus being like, and no gay people and no vampires.
All the good stuff.
I know. And they go on to have more like don't eat blood stuff in Leviticus. The condemnation was strong enough that those who practiced it were condemned to be cut off from the rest of the people. Cruelly, these prohibitions were given to contrast the nations surrounding the young nation of Israel. Why have a prohibition against the consumption of blood if the practice was not evident?
Okay.
This keeps going. I don't
that's
really
like
care.
inferred vampirism. This is
Yeah, I
read
don't
between
know.
the lines, like Dark Souls lore for vampirism.
This is like if you said Judas was low-key a vampire, and no one would say that.
And no one would say that, although I would say
There's a lot.
he is not welcome on the podcast.
Judas?
Yes.
No. We will not have him on. Alex does want to have on Hunter Biden, though.
Come on. I do want to have that, and I'm cutting it out because it's a secret and a surprise.
All right, I won't say it then.
Okay. No, but I would be happy to have Paul, formerly called Saul. He's welcome on the show.
Sure, fair enough. Anyway, most of the answers just say no. There's no vampires in the Bible.
It's funny you mentioned that. No.
Bram Stoker wrote Dracula. It's like, yeah, fair enough.
I know who wrote Dracula.
It would be nice if vampires were in the Bible because they would be it would make the Bible a little bit sexier.
The Bible is classically a Frankenstein book.
Who is the Frankenstein of the Bible?
His name is Jesus Christ. I will not be addressing this anymore.
He's made from body parts of the Holy Spirit.
He's made from his own body parts.
Yeah, he's made of bread.
Yeah,
All right, that's enough of this question. Let's move on to forbidden knowledge, a very similar thing. That was forbidden fruit. This is forbidden knowledge.
Enter the realm.
Triangles.
So forbidden knowledge is it's like spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff
It's
on
stuff they don't want.
quora.com.
It's knowledge that's forbidden.
Yeah, a lot of Illuminati-esque kind of stuff.
Illuminati's ghosts. We haven't dived as much into that since we have moved to Cracked, but that's because I like it and everyone else hates it, and that's mostly why.
You really like demon stuff. And
I want to know about.
demon.
I like all the stuff where people are in detail describing like which demons you can summon and which ones are annoying.
Yeah.
Like
I want to try doing it. Oh, maybe now that we're in the Crack studio, we can summon a demon. Will that make you feel better?
No, we did it at the live show. It's over. It's
Fair
over.
enough.
We summoned a demon.
I want to
George
draw
Bush.
a pentagram.
No one
on the
laughed.
floor. It did bomb. Anyway, this question is, how do I reincarnate into a horse?
Oh man.
Why would you want to? Well, I don't know. What would you want to reincarnate into if you could pick one? This is basically the plot of The Lobster.
If I got to pick,
Yeah.
I'd probably
You re-upping human?
Yeah, re-upping. Humans like the top of the ladder is the thing. So you want your like high tier loadout.
Yeah, well, now that I know that you don't get any pleasure from giving birth as a frog, that's off the list.
And certainly a toad.
Yeah, no.
Its counterpart. But I guess if you said like humans are banned, new meta, I'd probably be, I guess logically next you would want to be an ape or something, but apes are kind of nasty freaks and I'm not really interested in that. And so I would maybe be a dolphin or something cool.
I don't know if I want intelligence, though. I don't know if I want to be like.
Okay,
humans.
but you have intelligence, but you also get to swim around and you have flippers and stuff.
I don't even know if I'm going human. Is that like a depressed boy thought to be like, I don't think I ever want to be a person anymore.
Yeah.
I want to be a dog.
Well, it just shows how little you know of reincarnation and the Buddha. But also at the same time, we're saying this is new meta humans banned.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your pick humans banned?
My pick has traditionally been my favorite animal, the marine iguana. Those guys,
What are
they
those?
just hang out. They hang out in the Galapagos. They're really stupid looking lizards. Apparently Darwin famously called them like disgusting, vile creatures. They look like little Godzillas.
Are they, so they're like lizard sloths?
They're like basically lizard sloths.
All right,
They
that's
seem
pretty cool.
dope as hell.
I'll give you that. That's pretty cool.
They probably just eat bananas all day.
But a horse wouldn't be bad, provided that you live now and not in like back when they were the cars.
Yeah, I mean they still kind of are though. Like you ever go to like Manhattan and you see the horses walking around, like they're so sad.
Yeah, I don't want to be a city horse.
I don't want to be that guy. No, I don't want to be a city horse.
You know, there's like city mouse, country mouse, and it's like,
Yeah.
which one's better? I think
wanna-
city horse, country horse is a
Yes.
clear landslide for
God.
country horse.
I want to be a horse and I'm running around, not hanging out in the big city town, pooping on the street and living with my friends.
Is the country song?
This is
for
my
city
country
horse?
song. I want to be a country horse.
I want to be a country horse.
I want to be a country horse.
I want a horse that does things the old-fashioned way.
You sick of these modern city horses
These
addicted to dope?
Horse slickers? I don't know what I was going to say. These horse slickers, they don't know
What's
about.
up, Rob? Yeah, horse in a small town.
Horse around in a small town. See how far your hooves take you.
You're just like becoming fucking Hank from King of the Hill.
That's right.
All right, well, let's see. How do I reincarnate into a horse? Now, this is Arena Nola, and she is
First you have to die.
She is a past life regression therapist.
She's the exact person to ask.
Yeah, we can look at her whole thing. She's a hypnotherapist.
My favorite thing about this is when you click on a themed account and it's like, I know about past lives. And then it's like, would you punish your son if he broke his Steam account?
She lives in New Orleans, so she's into twin flame regression as well. So we were talking about twin flames earlier today.
On the train, yes.
On the train. We can get into that another time, but future quora topic.
They're very lucrative.
Keep an eye out.
Check out Twin Flames.
She says, humans usually do not reincarnate as animals, as it is not beneficial for the evolution of the soul to go back to animal lives.
Human meta.
So what do you do after being a human? You just go human again?
Well,
every time?
Supposedly, well, first of all, you load up human every time, and then when you get to the top of human, you get to be ether and, the sun and stuff.
So you get like a new class system, and it's ether.
Yeah, you get to be Protoss.
Cool. Occasionally, it is permitted to have a life as a wild animal to regain animal vitality. For example, to balance a life of disability.
I am always saying this.
So wait, if you're disabled, you have to go be an animal
You have to
again?
be a horse again
like,
to get that out of your system.
You're not ready to be a human.
Yeah! Little John!
That's so fucked up.
Well, it could be good to have animal vitality.
Hey, are you deaf? You got to be a turtle now.
Wait, what if you're the horse or whatever, and then you're like also disabled? That's totally possible.
I don't know, dude.
Although,
well, she says you could have a vacation life as a wild horse to get the energy going and get a lot of freedom and physical movement.
Tell me that doesn't sound nice.
Yeah, no,
Tell me
I
it
know.
doesn't sound nice to have a vacation
I really
life.
need to be a horse for a little bit.
I think I'm on that. I think I'm having my vacation life right now. I mostly just read Quora. I think I'm actually a horse who had a bad time.
You're a city horse. You think you're a disabled horse.
I was a disabled city horse in like 1960,
Sure.
and then they were like, run it back, easy mode.
Let him be Alex for a bit.
Let him have snacks.
Do you like apples?
I love him.
You might be a horse.
I can't get enough of the stuff.
That's really funny when people are like, in a past life, I think I was Julius Caesar. And you're like, I think I was like a sad horse.
I was a sad horse, and they're giving me a vacation life.
Or you can choose an animal life to help people as an emotional support therapy horse helping children with mental illness. No, no thank you. Do not want that.
That's too specific.
Do not want.
I don't think you get to pick like where you respawn.
No, this is not Battlefield.
It's not Battlefield. It's real life.
If you really love horses and want to experience being one, you can. You do not even need to incarnate into a horse life as a spirit between lives. You can merge with any animal and feel their feelings. In any case, after you die and start planning your next life, ask your guides if you can have a life as a horse. They would explain how to do it practically if they think it's a good idea for you. But you can definitely choose a human life with a lot of horses in it.
I gotta get a guide. I didn't realize how key guides are.
I like that it's like having like a guidance counselor in school where you're like, I'm thinking like horse, but like dog is a safety animal.
I was planning on just dying normal. Is that stupid?
The guys are like, I'm sorry, you just don't have the disability to be a horse.
You don't have the kind of cachet.
Yeah, you have to be pretty disabled.
I'm looking at your grades here, and you're going to war. Your life's gonna be shit.
You're gonna be an elephant, but you're gonna be going through the mountains.
You're gonna be an elephant with depression.
Yeah. Anyway, that's really the only answer. The other answer just says, smoke some really strong dope. That should do it for you. That's from Louise Sanders, whose picture is a dog. She's so cool, dude. I like Louise. She's a Canadian woman who is an atheist.
Yeah, she's chief in it. That's how you come back as a horse. Somebody's clearly never spoken to a guide if you think it's that simple. It's way more complicated than that.
Yep.
You gotta do a dance. You gotta do the fusion dance for.
I think she might be very right wing, but I'm not sure.
What is the dog picture giving this away?
I'm just looking at her questions. I haven't read this, so I'm sorry if I'm getting it totally wrong. But she asks, this was from a few days ago. She says,
"Oh my God,
why does the press say that Justin Trudeau separated from his wife when the truth is that she kicked his sorry ass out of their marriage and she had good reasons for doing this?"
Okay. Yeah, as you can see from the fourth one down, there are some questions we should just not read.
I wasn't going to read that.
I don't know
one.
what it means, but it's something we should not read.
I also saw that, and I think it shouldn't be read. I don't know if it's actually bad, though.
I don't know. I'm not going to read it.
No,
it's too much of a gamble.
Who cares?
We'll cut it. Rob, it's why are chuck wagon races allowed to exist?
Do you think chuck wagon is like a Native American race?
Wait. Or is it like...
Do you think it's just a type of race?
Or is it like dog fighting is chuck wagon races?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't... All right, we're going to Google on this one. I just assumed it was racist.
We have to cut all of this because we sound dumb either way.
No, we know about chuck wagon races. Wait, no, that's a kind of wagon. It's a dangerous wagon in Canada.
It's a dangerous race that hurts horses.
I thought it was a slur for somebody, and I didn't know
who.
I
that
just
was my guess.
Chuck wagon was something you cannot say on the internet.
Especially because Canadians have been pretty cruel.
They really they invent slurs that sound like household objects.
Okay, I don't know if we're cutting all of that or not, but let's go to a question that is much more dangerous. And this question is, do Pokemons have sex?
Do Pokemons have sex?
Do Pokemons have sex?
First of all, I gotta say, that ain't right.
Pokemon famously breed, right?
They breed. I remember a part in the second game starting where you can just drop them off and it says specify male and female and then a new one comes out. So that seems like if they're not doing that, then what are they doing?
Many years ago, I had an idea for a recurring web series called Breeders, where it would be two people who work at a Pokemon breeding facility, and it's just
lawsuit. You're being sued. Lawsuit.
Who cares? It was just the idea. The pitch was just every episode, it's them like smoking a cigarette outside of the breeding place, being like, the things I saw today.
Things I've seen.
a Raichu with a Bulbasaur. Those things shouldn't go together.
Snorlax is too large of a partner.
Yeah, no,
to
for real.
truly engage. That's a great idea.
Jigglypuff's a size queen. You can have any Pokemon mate.
Yeah. They don't
care, dude.
So maybe it is like maybe it's not sexual that way then, and they have a mating ritual.
According
that's like
apparently
a sponge or something.
Yeah, maybe they have a sponge, dude.
What do sponges do?
I don't know.
This is a chuck wagon situation all over again.
I think sponges are a contraceptive, right?
God damn it, Jeremy.
They soak up all your semen.
You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean.
And then you eat it.
Jeremy.
I haven't slept in like 6 months.
You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they do have sex and it's nasty.
Apparently the eggs just magically appear, according to this.
I don't believe you.
That's what the in-game canon is, that the eggs just show up.
Now, yeah, that's what people say about normal babies to young children. Yeah. They just know their audience is like 6 years old.
And is the stork a Pokemon? Yeah, you could catch it and have it battle.
The stork would be a Pokemon in Pokemon, though. That's how it has to work.
I feel like the question of like, do Pokemon have sex is interesting, but I do think the more interesting question is always like, how do they decide which is a Pokemon and which is like an animal you can eat? Because they
eat meat.
They do eat meat in
series.
those games. Like they'll eat like pork.
They'll have like tonkatsu all the time. Yeah.
And then there's like a Pokemon that's just a pig.
My favorite part of the Pokemon sex discussion is there's that one Pokemon, Machoke, who is just a guy.
Yeah.
He's just a guy, and he's out there mingling.
What about Mr. Mime? There used to be a rumor that Ash's dad was secretly Mr. Mime. Which I always loved. The idea that like Ash's mom got like freaky with Mr. Mime.
He's doing this.
He's probably so good in bed, Mr. Mime.
He's got those hands, they're tilted.
Yeah, dude.
He's got his jingly hat.
You give him an orgasm, and he's like, reflect, and then you get an orgasm. You get what you put into Mr. Mime, dude.
This is really what I wanted out of this question.
Also, there's fucking Farfetch'd, who's just a duck.
Yeah, he's a duck. Well, a lot of them are just animals. But like,
there's Ekans.
Then you're just having sex with Machoke, like Farfetch'd is having sex with Machoke. It's nasty, folks.
It's nasty.
It's nasty. Do we have any other answers on this?
Most of them are just people saying what we're saying, which is that it's nasty in there, dude.
That's right.
Someone posted the one of the Pokemon that's just the keys.
I've never seen this before.
Oh, so this is technically a ghost Pokemon. The in canon is that it takes on the form of like human things. But this one, it's usually just a bunch of keys.
It's a bunch of keys. The people are always looking for keys.
You don't want to fuck the keys Pokemon, dude.
It's a Pokemon janitors often find.
They're sticking the keys Pokemon up their butts.
If you're not watching the YouTube video, you gotta get this. Look, Google key Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is, dude.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
You know what it is, dog.
It's key Pokemon.
The key Pokemon could probably turn into like a dildo. Why am I talking about this,
Why?
man?
He hasn't slept for days.
Welcome to
Excuse my
Cracked.
friend here.
This is the kind of stuff that they want on Cracked.com because it's a nerd-based humor website.
Yeah, I feel like the key Pokemon thing is spot
Oh,
on.
yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Okay, this is the quiz course. Honestly, it's only going to get weirder from here.
Oh, okay. What's our quiz course in?
Do we have one?
I think we just kind of do.
The American flag one?
yeah.
Why do I always say American flag?
Well, you salute the flag when you hear this one. I'm going lefty.
It's just the fucking national anthem.
Yeah, the flag song.
The flag song.
All right, so this is the quiz course. This is your
Political one.
most controversial political.
If you didn't like the Pokemon sex question, get ready.
You will love.
I just took an open carrier by surprise from behind, hogtied him, and then confiscated his firearm because I decided he was a threat to myself and the public at large. To whom do I hand in his weapon?
Killing spree.
Now, this is
So,
most Quora users. They're constantly being attacked by intruders.
They're one of the most vulnerable minorities.
Yes, the Quora users.
For individuals.
Every day, a Quora user's house is invaded, and every day, the Quora user disarms the man.
It's a kill or be killed situation. Also, the hog tying is relentless. They are tied up like a hog.
Like a fucking
every
pig.
day. Or actually, I guess, so this person hogtied somebody else. So, but you only hogtied somebody else when you've been hogtied so many times. You feel like you have no other way out.
I just like that the question is, to whom do I hand in his weapon? He's just like, and then I did a triple backflip and I beat up all the ninjas. And my one question, where do I get my award?
Anybody want to take this? I hogtied him. No problem.
Here's that gun you wanted.
And then he disassembles the gun. So I would say to your local police station.
Simple question.
Or if they're
Simple
unavailable,
answer.
to the Antifa department. Because that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, this guy probably loves Antifa,
He
the real
loves
group that exists.
And he gives them all the guns from his hog tie victims.
What do you do with the hog-tied man? That's my question.
Well, he's a hog now. He's legally a hog. He's been hog-tied.
Also, you know what? I've just thought of something. He doesn't even say that this... I assume that this guy's like breaking into his house. He just says that he decided for himself that the guy was a threat.
This is interesting. This is like criminal quora.
Yeah.
This is from the other perspective of the usual questions we read, which is just
Yeah.
like, I'm a rampant criminal. I can't be stopped, and I've broken into your home. What do I do?
I like that he did a citizen's arrest on him, basically. I love the concept of a citizen's arrest.
It's something anyone could do as long as there is.
You can arrest anyone you want.
You come to this
As a
country legally,
citizen.
it's time to arrest people.
Citizen's arrest!
Citizens arrest.
What are the rules on that? Like,
you gotta learn knots.
are there limits to who you can citizens arrest?
Jeremy, there are no limits.
Can I just
I feel
citizens
comfortable
arrest you
saying
right
this into
now?
a public channel. Arrest anyone you want. I give you my blessing.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Don't arrest us though.
What are you afraid of? You're being a little sissy? Arrest somebody.
I arrested my first man when I was 13.
What do the answers say?
I'll take things that didn't happen for 500. First of all, you know what I always hate about this answer? I don't think that would be a good Jeopardy category.
Things that didn't happen.
Things that didn't happen? How would you even guess that?
You would have nowhere to start.
Yeah, they'd be like, none of these things happened.
Vampires in the Bible?
Yeah, I guess that's how you do
it. Yeah, it could be in any category. It's a bad This is why none of these
category.
people write for Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's true. They write for Quora. But let's analyze it. If you have committed assault, battery, false imprisonment, grand theft, theft of a firearm, so go ahead and go to the police and let them know of the multiple felonies you committed and enjoy the criminal charges as well as the lawsuit from your victim. Basically, all the answers just like, I don't think this really happened.
I'm a lawyer. Stop hog-tying people.
You're not allowed to hog-tie people.
Just here to suck the fun out of the whole thing.
Okay, so this is maybe a known troll. This guy's name is Jay Keys.
He's that Pokemon we just had
He's
up
the
on
one
screen.
who was asked the question. He's asked 1,000 questions on Quora.com. Almost all of them are about guns.
Okay. Oh. So do you think this is really what he looks like?
No, I think he does not look like this. He looks like an old man. I don't know. I think this is some sort of Quora troll.
Troll?
Would an old man troll?
Would an old
Quora?
man troll?
All right, well, maybe we should move on because this is a question that is...
It's unanswerable.
It's unanswerable. This is a more answerable question, I think.
And this is our politics segment. Keep in
Yeah, maybe this is the title of the video. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What if Adolf Hitler turned out to be a reincarnation of Jesus? Checkmate.
It's something I had not considered up until this very moment, and it would be quite
Oh,
disturbing.
you don't like Hitler? Well, what if?
My favorite part of this question is like it turned out. So like, oh, we get the reincarnation reveals,
Yeah.
and you are not going to believe who Hitler was.
I feel like the answer would just be like, okay, I guess Jesus is bad.
Jesus was his vacation life, and then he had to be Hitler
He had to
later.
be
That was the
Hitler.
trade-off.
In between, he was a very mean horse. He was a very anti-Semitic horse.
You know, it wasn't very easy being Jesus. I shouldn't have called it his vacation life. Although he did get all that bread.
Yeah, he got killed by the Romans, and he was like, never again. I guess this person assumes that Jews killed him.
Is that, yeah.
It was like, Jesus, revenge. It's like an 80s thriller.
All I could say is I hope this isn't the truth.
It would bum me out if it turned out that Jesus was truly the Son of God and reincarnated into Adolf Hitler.
This is fun. This is a white nationalist who believes in reincarnation. The internet is truly a diaspora of ideas.
Yeah, it's true.
Read that top answer for me, baby.
What if you turned out to be out of your flipping mind? Let's go, dude.
You can't beat that.
You got
can't
owned.
beat a takedown like that.
You got owned by David Emily.
David Emily. A real man.
Who is this guy?
Who is named after two children next to each other. He's so cool.
He's so goofy
What's
looking.
the line for putting people's pictures on the internet? Is it only when they're aggressively fake?
I don't know.
I'm not going to put this
clearly
guy.
real.
This is clearly this
He
actual
lives in
guy's
Portland,
face.
Oregon.
Okay.
Do you want to describe what he looks like? He just looks like a goofball.
He looks like he has his glasses down, like he's saying, come on now.
Come on now.
What if Hitler was Jesus? Seems unlikely.
That's such a funny question. What if Hitler was Jesus? What if?
If it's
Now
not safe
what?
to ask this here, where is it? Where can I ask this question?
What if Hitler was Jesus?
I don't think he was. I've checked. I checked with experts.
He says, "Oh, please! It's been well estimated that Jesus' most recent incarceration was as a kid playing skeet ball." I don't know what any of this things means.
I guess an incarnation is kind of an incarceration in the flesh, isn't it, Jeremy?
Isn't it?
My catchphrase comes out again.
I don't even wonder if I don't think Nazis even think that he's Jesus.
No, because it's again like
they
it's
think he's a
foreign
different guy.
religion.
All right, here's one. Dan Ramsey says he had some very similar traits with Jesus, and they both spoke to the people who at the times were suffering from the tyranny of their oppressors.
Similarities. They both spoke.
And that led to Jesus turning against the Hebrew leaders and Hitler against the Jews. I'm not trying to compare them to each other.
That does sound like what you're trying to do,
They
though.
both
That
have
does sound
stories.
like what you're trying to do, though.
Jesus was Jewish.
It's a low-key fact.
Low-key facts. There's a lot of Jesus talk this episode.
Jesus low-key Jewish.
Interesting. You won't have Judas on the podcast, and yet Jesus was Hitler. Very interesting, Alex.
It's not
the
true.
one man who was willing to go against Hitler. 1,000 years before he was born?
Oh, yeah, maybe that guy from Valkyrie was the reincarnation of Judas.
Oh,
kind of an
Tom
interesting
Cruise.
Tom Cruise, very handsome.
Yes.
Very handsome Judas reincarnation. I don't think this is the case, though, Jeremy. It's just a question that it is safe to ask on Quora.
Yeah, we're not endorsing this question. We're just wondering, is it true?
As a matter of fact, I will not platform this question.
We did, though.
Yeah,
we
well, I
have
mean, in the literal
platformed
sense.
Do you have any more thoughts on Hitler being Jesus? Is there anything more to say on that?
I would say this. I know that ain't right. Come on.
What
now,
if Hitler
folks.
was Jesus?
I'm shaking my head.
Alex, what if Hitler was Jesus?
I'm shaking my head.
All right, let's go back to the guns. This next one is 5 quo. Slam it. Okay, this is not real.
This is not.
This is a police siren on the
If you're driving,
podcast.
you're fine.
You're
It's
not
just from
being
the
pulled
show.
over as far as we know. Okay.
These are quoras about the police.
If you were to go outside of a gun show holding a sign that reads something like ban guns while having someone with a rifle watching over you from a distance and had them shoot the first person to draw a weapon at you, what laws have been broken?
I hate that we need a lawyer to do this podcast, you know?
Well,
I just don't have the education to address this kind of question.
if you did a Batman-like scheme to kill gun owners, what laws have been broken?
I've seen this in movies, and it's usually no laws. It's actually a loophole that you're allowed to do this.
I think like the actual answer is like you can't like goat people into trying to kill you and then kill them.
I think the minute anyone is killing someone with a gun, the law is no killing people
Don't
with a
do
gun.
that.
Don't do that. That's specifically
on,
what we're trying
man.
to stop.
We're so against that.
And then you go to jail for having such a flamboyant sign.
The police are like, only we're allowed to do that.
It's true. Then
That's for us.
that's a top tactic.
You're not supposed to do that. That's our thing.
It's a professional move.
You have to go to school for it.
Yeah, it's like the jackass sign at the
Yes.
beginning. It's
Do
like,
not try this at
do
home.
not attempt this. This is for
If
law
you
enforcement
love the
professionals.
police.
The part where it's a ban gun sign adds a beautiful narrative to the
Yeah.
question. It's kind of like, are you curious about the rest of my story?
And gun
Click
owners.
on my comments.
If you have a sign that says ban guns, will gun owners try to kill you?
Is
If
that
you-
what they're implying?
Yeah, they're
I
saying,
really am thinking about
So
this.
they're saying their plan is they go to a gun show. They have a sign that says ban guns. Secretly, fucking Matt Damon as Jason Bourne is a mile away with a sniper rifle watching your every move. Here you're going to the thing, and people are like, "I'm so fucking pissed off at you for having that sign at our gun show. I'm gonna kill you right now."
Keep in mind, Jason Bourne does not remember who he is.
That's true. Anyway, so then they pull the gun to start to shoot you, and Jason Bourne's like, pew, pew, pew. And then they're all dead, and then you've broken no law because it's self-defense.
Yeah, that would be. Well, it's not self-defense though, because Jason Bourne's doing it for you. But they'll never catch
But
him.
he's
so it doesn't
defending.
matter.
Yeah, well, he's Jason Bourne.
They'll never catch him.
Yeah.
He's actually going to catch them first.
Well, what's going to happen is that they're going to try to catch Jason Bourne. You're going to show up with a sign that says, "Don't catch Jason Bourne." They're going to be so mad
That
that they
will
try
trigger
to kill
them.
you. And then Jason Bourne will be like, pew, 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 pew.
Pow, pow, pow. Yeah,
Anyway,
I've
I
seen
think
the
that's
films
probably
for
fine.
that.
I think you could do that.
Are there any answers to this?
Yeah, there's over
There's
100.
over 100? Okay, good.
okay, let's
read
see.
all of them.
What would happen? You would likely die of boredom waiting for someone to draw on you. Your plan would be deduced and your accomplice found. Said accomplice would roll on you and you would both spend time in prison for conspiring to commit murder and various other crimes. You would also become the new poster child for the anti-gun crowd, being psychologically unstable and therefore unable to legally own guns.
Here's what a lot of city horses
Quora.
don't realize is no one is more relaxed than the crowd at a gun show.
I can tell you're from Central Park because you're a city horse. Where you're pooping all over the street like that.
Eating one of them $7 carrots. Buy a house in my stable.
My wife's family used to have a dog, and we had to watch their dog once when we were living in Hell's Kitchen, which is where all those horses hang out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when we took
It's a cesspool of horses.
we took this dog out for a walk one time, and the dog saw a horse, and it was the most it saluted the horse. It was like, I've never seen such a beautiful dog.
They're natural enemies, the horse and
You
the
think
dog.
so? I
Horses
think-
are terrified of dogs.
I think this dog thought that it was a giant dog and was like, "Oh my god."
Is he wrong?
The dog. She
right
was
in. Is he wrong? Is the
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
wrong?
Is the dog wrong? She was very old, and I like to think it was like one of the last wonders she saw in her life. Was just
Yeah.
a giant. Imagine you're walking around, and you just see a huge person who's just like,
Oh, hit me for
You'd be
real.
like, oh my God, dude, that's fucking me, dude.
I lock my knees like that all the time. No, you don't, dog. It's not something you do.
You don't even look like that, bro.
You look totally. It's crazy you think you look like this.
It's like when your friend sees like a really buff guy and they're like, we look the same.
Oh
You're
my
like,
God.
no,
People are
you
going to get us confused everywhere.
No, they're not.
Dogs are so dumb. That's why they can't drive.
No, yeah, that's why.
We want to read one more answer on the gun one?
I'd like to point something out to you. The people at the gun show are not bothering you or provoking you in any way. You are the only one considering violence, and you are actually hoping to get someone else killed. I think you are more of a threat to society than any gun owner I've ever met.
I'm shaking my head.
This is like the
City
principled Percy being like, have you considered that maybe you are the violent one?
It is you with your ban gun sign bringing the chaos to the gun show.
Who are you planning to get to be your Overwatch? One of your
Overwatch.
friends who wants to ban guns?
What's it going to be, Tracer? Who's going to be your Overwatch?
This is so dumb. How accurate do you think this sniper is going to be? You're going to trust your wife
in
to...
there.
This is just like the movie Losers. Have you seen the movie The Losers?
I have not.
Well, this happens in it. A lot of people are saying the word Overwatch, which I think both you and I both like a lot. Oh, someone says this has to be yet another Jay question. So who is this troll Jay who we've encountered twice now?
Oh, it's the same guy?
I don't know, man.
He's trying to single-handedly take down gun culture from the inside on
I know,
quora.com.
he hates guns. And he's breaking no laws.
Jay?
Who are you, Jay?
Who are you, Jay?
Who are you?
How did you get in the America's Gun Club?
We should get Jay on the podcast.
No one knows what he looks like.
That's true.
He could be anyone. He'd come on. He has the voice changer and the mask on. The delocated style appearance for Jay.
We've got 2 more questions. I think maybe we should find some more after these, right?
Let's just keep rapping.
Okay, well, this is Quora Romance. Slam it.
Oh, baby.
It is quite
The
loud.
romance is a little loud, but here at Quora Romance, it's a place for intimate
Beautiful
knowledge
love.
and love and questions about
Sexy Quoras.
sexy quoras.
Okay.
I thought about putting that Pokemon question in here, but I thought that would kind of lead our hand.
This question is, should there be a special bedroom set aside in prisons for 2 inmates who want to demonstrate their love for each other?
The answer is yes.
Yes, there should be.
There should be.
I think have I complained about this on the podcast before? There's a no jacking off rule at prison. I think they
You
gotta get rid of
did.
that.
You did.
I think I just am. I fear that one day I will be imprisoned, and I'm like, I gotta be able to jack off in there.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. There's no way I'm not doing it. I'll probably go
Gotta
back to
let me.
mattress humping. Mattress humping, the tool mostly used by 12-year-olds when they're being real sneaky when they're watching Futurama,
you
or
think-
inmates.
Do you think it would upset you to have to poop on those like open toilets?
Yeah, it probably would upset. I think the whole thing would probably upset me.
Going to prison?
So the question is, should there be a special bedroom?
Sorry, yeah, I got distracted.
So in prison, it's normal that you get to have what are they called? Intimate visits or what?
Yeah, that is true.
Conjugal visits.
That is true.
And then you get to have like your partner visits, and you get to have
You do get to have sex with them.
visiting sex, which has got me some freaky stuff. But
Do they not get they must have their own room for that. It's not just like on the ground.
yeah, no, it's not in holding or whatever.
So it sounds like they do.
Well, no, this is for 2 inmates.
Right, that's
So
true.
this is for if love strikes on.
If you find love in a hopeless place.
You know hell in a cell? This is heaven in a cell. And that's the concept of it. And everyone wears like thin, wet shirts.
If you kind of say prison like heaven, it can kind of rhyme. You can say, you've heard of hell in a cell. This is heaven in a
Heaven
prison.
in a prison. And I suppose that's my answer, is it would be heaven in a prison.
I think you should be allowed to have it. Prisons are cruel. I mean, if we can't have, prison abolition or whatever,
As
at
long
least
as
give
there's-
them a bed to fuck.
Yeah, like a nice one too, like with good sheets that people change.
People are so insane about prison. Like, I feel like a lot of people just feel that all criminals should be tortured.
Yes.
So I'm assuming a lot of these answers are going to be like, no, in fact, they should have their penises lopped off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like a classic thing, right?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I don't know why I distinctly remember like in like 4th grade, our teacher talking about prison and talking about like, is the death penalty should there be a death penalty? I don't know why we were learning this in 4th grade. And one of the kids in my class was like, no, there should not be a death penalty because, like, if you kill someone, you should be tortured to death, like, forever.
There is no release for my world of pain.
And I do think that most Americans agree with that.
Oh, yeah. I think
most Americans are just like, you should be tortured forever.
I do think part of it is that children are taught about hell, like, first thing. And they're like, knowing this is what God does, what would you do if someone broke one of your special rules? But yeah, no, everybody's going to come down on this in their wide-brimmed hat.
Absolutely not. Inmates are wards of the state and as such have no right to grant consent for any intimate contact between themselves or anyone else. It's part of the rights and privileges.
If you go to prison, you're legally 17.
Wait, what? That's insane.
You're legally 17.
What an insane opinion to have.
And your parents can destroy your PlayStation 5.
Getting caught in any sort of sexual activity while incarcerated gets you a major disciplinary violation. That's probably true, but...
This guy's a former CEO, it says.
It says that apparently you get designated as a sex offender. That's fucking
You're already
crazy.
in jail.
That's
What is
crazy.
the worst thing that could happen to you?
Yeah, assuming you're in there for life.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
And I'm assuming I'm in there for life.
You should be allowed to have sex.
Horrific schemes.
Assuming you're both consenting. You should not be allowed to have sex like with the like prison officers though, and that happens a lot apparently.
Yeah, you should not be allowed. You can't romance a prison guard.
No, they're not. They should not be romanceable.
And this is why they have to come down so hard on it. Is there's love is popping off left and right over there.
People love love.
People love Jeremy, and that's what this whole question is about.
People love.
Do we got any other good answers on
this
one?
guy, Donald Kirk, says, sure, and a breakfast in bed service, too, with an added foot massage.
This is not the first time we've come across Donald Kirk.
Is this the guy?
This is not the first time we've come across Donald Kirk.
Is this the guy with the band?
He has a band in England, and they rock the pub.
Are we, like, running out of Quora users? What is happening?
This is Donald Kirk, too. This could be his twin flame.
This could be one of our listeners. It's from July 16th. Okay. When was our episode?
Donald Kirk, if that's you, start jamming.
We are running out of fucking Quora users. Also, it's not loading his profile for some reason.
There's a firewall. There's a firewall over Donald Kirk.
Here's a great answer.
We're getting too close to the truth.
Tammy Ann Levine says, I understand what you are asking. I am not able to give you an answer.
Oh, no.
They go on to say, why you ask yourself? I do like answering questions. People would like my answer. They ask me. Your question is not up to me to answer this question. This is like a riddle.
What the fuck? What is this?
The two inmates who would like a special bedroom have to ask that question to the director. If I have the right person that is in charge of the prison. Asking this question to me will not help you with what you want. The two inmates must think before asking is the crime I am in for. How will I be looked at for asking for the special bedroom? Will you stay calm if the answer you get you are not happy with? Will you two just walk away and not yell at the person you ask? Sorry for not giving you a straight answer. Tell me if you are not happy with what I said.
Tammy, I am not happy with what you said.
Tammy, that was not okay.
Tammy, it's Quora. You can only ask questions.
I will say this woman, Tammy, was requested to answer this.
Yeah, somebody tagged her in. So it was like, Tammy, let him have it.
Tammy Ann Levine.
Tammy?
This might be a Quora character or something. So this guy, Rick Wright, whose job is in relationship with my sister, is requested
that's a good job of you
that answer.
Is his sister Tammy?
Dude, I don't know what's going on.
Does Tammy just keep her husband's name, but she's in a relationship with Rick?
I'm really confused. I don't know. Is Tammy
how do you get
still
paid
around?
to be in a relationship with your sister? Is your sister like a sugar mama?
I'm going to follow Tammy. Because Tammy seems really interesting to me. She doesn't seem to speak English very well, which is not on her, but I don't know.
She is answering quoras, and
She's
she will
answering
not be
quoras.
stopped.
I am a mom, and I have two sons, ages 23 and 19. Before I became a stay-at-home mom, I worked in 2 group homes. I worked with mentally disabled people. I was also a job coach to with the same kind of people. I do know about dogs and lizards. I'll do my best to help you out. So,
that's nice.
So the podcast BigSoftTitty.png, hosted by Tom Walker and Demi Lardner. My understanding is that they have found a weird old lady on Quora, because people keep telling me like you got to have them on until like talk about this weird old lady on Quora who they like discuss all the time. But I believe she died. So this can't be her.
This can't.
Because I keep like thinking like, I wonder if this is their weird old lady.
Should be inside the machine.
She seems to still be around.
Yeah, Tammy is around, and she will help you. She knows about dogs and lizards.
Like, should I read some more? Like, okay, let's see. This question
is all
is...
of her like job advice just like, you got to get lizards in there.
People keep
You got to work with
requesting...
lizards professionally.
People keep requesting answers from her, so I just wonder if she's like a known quantity.
Dude, maybe these are the people she like works with.
So
there's just like a whole group
maybe.
home on Quora.
Yeah, she's
being
like, I will not answer you in person. If you want an answer from me, you must go through the proper channels. That is Quora.com.
It was phrased like someone who is like in charge of a lot of children.
This question is, what is the best relationship in this world? And she says, any relationship can be the best.
Checkmate.
I do not know what relationships are the best. One thing that helps a marriage to be the best is talking to each other. When there is a problem, or just sit down and talk. This is my answer. If you did not like my answer, let me know. If I understood your question wrong, let me know. Yeah! I like that she gives a little thing at the end where she's just like, I am sorry, which is like how I feel too. If this is not the answer that you wanted, I am sorry.
Yeah, that should be at the end of every post if we're all being respectful to each other.
Here's a question she answered on August 9th. Can AIDS be a good motivator to get married to my beloved? She says, someone having AIDS...
Use the word motivator is very flexible in this sentence.
She says, someone having AIDS, it should not be a motivator to marry your beloved. Marriage is based on how you get along, love, respect, and take care of each other when you get... Yeah! That is my answer to you. Now you decide what you want to do. Do you and your partner go to the doctor together? This helps understand how everything is going with you. Or if it is your partner with AIDS. If you are not happy with my answer, let me know.
That's such a good sign off. That's so good. And she's just being so upfront about not letting people have AIDS on purpose.
Here's one more from her.
Oh, yeah, a lot of the children in my group home are from the movie Kids, and this comes up all the time.
One more Tammy answer. Question, is it possible that other species with whom we share the planet perceive reality different than we do? She says, it does not matter who we share the planet with. Everyone has their own way of looking at something. It can be anything. Life is interesting, and you learn from all types of people. That is how I like to learn sometimes. Just how a person looks at something, and I see it in a different way.
Wait, so she didn't do the thing about not understanding the question.
No, but
that one she's got.
She wasn't requested to answer that one.
Okay.
Well,
all right,
Tammy.
I've had enough, Tammy. I've full to bursting.
What was the question again?
What was the question?
Should there be a special room in jail for people to fuck?
And the answer is yes.
People are mad. This guy bored guy on a couch, ... and his cat. He says, this is a very dumb question. No, that's a resounding no. It's prison, not a dating center.
What is this, a dating center?
I don't know, man. I think people should be allowed to have sex.
I think instead of prisons, we should have dating centers.
That would be cool.
Where you have to swipe right.
Nothing is a dating center. That doesn't exist.
And it doesn't even exist with the sick world we live in. Jeremy and I are both married.
I did a crime. I did a dating crime the other day, and they locked me up and sent me to dating center.
Yeah, I told the guy I didn't like The Office, and they had to put me away.
Yeah, he did the gym face.
I tried to split the bill with my date, and now they got me in for 20 years.
Oh, my God, dude. Freaking men, am I right?
Men, that you gotta pay that bill. Or not. I don't know. I'm married.
We've got one more question here.
Good.
It's so horny, Alex.
Oh, okay. So you've really talked this one up to me.
Yeah.
We gotta get a smoking sound. This is just talking out loud, but we need a smoking sound because people are always chiefing it on here.
This is going to get extremely horny. So if you don't want to listen to that, thanks for listening.
Walk away.
Walk away.
There's the door.
This was emailed to me.
The back button on your browser.
The question is, how would you deal with a wife who is always smoking weed?
Okay.
No,
my wife is always smoking weed.
We're two married men, and both of our wives are always smoking weed.
And I'm always just like, I get the TV now. And that's like, that's my move usually. It's like, you're knitting or whatever. What about you, Jeremy? What's your move when your wife is always smoking weed?
I just get annoyed that she can't remember the movies we watched together.
We watched that. We can't do it again. I remember it.
My new trick now is we just are both on Letterboxd, and what I do is anytime I'm like, remember this movie? And she's like, I don't think I watched that. I pull up the 5-star review she gave it.
That's devastating.
From like 6 months ago.
That's devastating.
And she's like, fuck. Anyway, this guy has a very similar answer to us. I'm going to read it. Again, I'm sorry. This is from Ochisi Creek, who is the former director of business development at a Fortune 500 company.
Well, that's very exclusive.
I can look at his face if I want to.
Oh, it's actually the
he's got a picture
CEO
of him.
of Citigroup.
It's like an older guy with a white beard, and he is holding a fish, which actually kind of owns.
Now, imagine if his wife smoked weed. I wonder what that would be
Here's
like.
just a little taste. 13 hours ago, he answered this question. Is masturbation twice a week harmful or okay? And he said, I guess that's okay. But my question is, what the fuck do you do the other 5 days?
Ochisi Creek! You're going to lose all your seed.
Okay.
Your essence.
He says, this is the question again. How would you deal with a wife who is always smoking weed? And he says, that's an easy one. I'll dress up as an undercover cop and pretend to bust her. Up against the wall, bitch. Spread them. Time to practice my frisking activity. Oh, yeah. Shit. She's not wearing any panties. I got to take a picture of this. Cell phone clicks off a few.
Stop it. Stop it. This has accelerated so quickly. We're 2 sentences in.
This is sent to me in an email, dude. Quora was like, you gotta read this.
In between, like, doing your taxes, it's just like, what would you do? This is what this guy would do. This is how he'd have sex with his wife if she was high. Also, your wife would be like, what? Where did you get that whole officer's uniform? Oh, no.
Okay.
He's got his nightstick out.
I'm going to keep reading it. He says, read her Miranda rights and break out the handcuffs.
You have a right to have panties. If you choose not to have panties, uh-oh.
She's pretending to be scared and offers up, but officer, I can't go to jail. Is there anything I can do to get you to let me go? I'll do anything.
That's exactly what he wanted you to say.
Then I confiscate all her weed and have my way with her for the rest of the weekend.
It's on a weekend.
It's for multiple days. When I pretend to let her go and leave, she's relieved. So I drive away, stop at the corner tavern, have a cold one, then go home. Quote, honey, I'm home, and I brought you a new bag of weed. Now she's happy to see me and happy to have a big fat bag of new weed. She puts the handcuffs on herself this time. The end.
That's one of the best answers we have read in this entire show. There's a whole 3-act play in there.
This is the horniest man I've ever experienced.
Top comment, dude, what the hell?
Third comment, weird guy.
But is he wrong? Is he wrong?
And then he responded to the guy who said weird guy and says he who couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with a wallet stuffed full of $100 bills and couldn't figure out how to frisk or handcuff a woman, even then she's giving verbal directions.
Here's how you frisk and handcuff me. Write this down.
He's so fucking horny, dude. All of his answers, like he answered a question today that is, what is the best spot to kiss on a vagina?
Jeremy, that's gross.
He's a fucking psycho.
Why won't my dog stop sucking its dick? See, it's not even inherently sexual, but...
You did answer that question. Why won't my dog stop sucking its dick? Do you want to read that one?
Yeah.
He says, dogs don't suck dicks, they lick it. There's a difference. I once had a girlfriend who told me she learned how to lick a dick by watching her dog. She was fucking awesome. Sorry, he doesn't say fucking, he says effing awesome. He's like, I don't want to curse.
The fact that you dragged a second person into this is unacceptable, Ochisi Creek. You are the bad one. You're the nasty one.
I really like that his answer involves like stealing the weed from his girlfriend and then
giving her more weed
and then giving it back to her as if he got it.
My favorite part is when he gets a cold one after a whole weekend of sex.
You think it's like with the boys?
I hope it's not alone.
I want to look at this quick.
I'm done for the day.
Should I not look at this
I'm done
picture?
for the day now.
I'm gonna do it. No, it's just 2 girls naked and hugging. Weird.
I'm done. I'm done for the day.
All right, let's ask a quora because Alex is done.
I'm going home.
What's the quora?
I'm clocking out.
How do you deal with a wife who's always smoking weed?
What? Okay, can we?
All right, what's the question
maybe?
that we have?
What do you do with a dog who's always smoking weed?
What do you do with a dog who is always smoking weed?
Type that up. Thanks for listening to the show. If you want to get more episodes, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Quorators. We put all the episodes up there. You can sign up for free, and we'll put little updates up. Until next time, we're going to answer this dog question, and I'm very excited about it.
If you want to answer it, please put scrambled eggs in your answer so we know it's you.
And that's it, folks. Question everything.
And if you didn't like any of our answers, we are sorry.
And we're sorry.
We're sorry. All right, bye.